Oh yes, back on the World Wide Web.
We are back again for a brand new month, aren't we, Dan?
I don't know why we keep coming back.
I don't know. It's just,
But
you know,
we do.
it's fun.
We do. And this room is under construction right now.
Yes, but we still hopefully do have the film that we will be reviewing shortly appearing behind us in the magic.
It doesn't appear yet, but it appears as soon as you mention it.
Okay, good.
But before we get into that, we just have to acknowledge the fact that we're now in May.
Yes. One of my favourite months of the year.
April's over and I'm sad about that.
May has started and I'm happy about that.
I bet you are.
Birthdays.
Bet you are. You have a birthday in May? I didn't know that.
I know. Great times. I saw you do that.
You wait till you see what I've got you.
Oh, I'm excited for that. And scared as well.
Be very afraid.
Yes, but as far as May is concerned, in this room, it's a themed month.
You should be in this room at night, mate. Right, yes, it is a theme. It's a film room.
It is.
Everyone uses it.
Yeah, definitely.
That chair you're sitting is a favourite. So,
Care to announce the month and move on, Dan, without breaking up?
There's some wipes there if you want to get rid of the sticky stain.
Oh, yeah, I wonder what that was.
We are in Mythical May.
Yep, so we're talking about films set in the olden times, biblical movies, medieval movies.
You have a look at this as well. Because just refamiliarise yourself. I don't let you look at that. So I'll let you look at it.
All right, okay, I won't read it out, but
we're in Mythical May. We're in Mythical May.
We're in Mythical May.
Give it back because you're not allowed it. Production would tell me off if you've got hold of it. So, Mythical May.
We're kicking off Mythical May in style, Dan. We are talking about one of the best comedies ever made, which happens to be set in probably the oldest of olden times that could hold.
So, a mythical comedy.
Yes.
Now, that
is a rarity.
A very rarity. Great genre.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
We are going to be talking about the 1979 film, Life of Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Brian. I watched this when I was 13 years old and thought to myself, really? I mean, it's funny, but nowhere near as good as a lot of other comedies out there. I thankfully grew out of this way of thinking and recognised the film for its genius, thanks to all 6 members of the Monty Python comedy troupe. I don't suppose you know about Monty Python, do you? Do you know they are?
Oh, I've watched an episode before. A long time ago.
Well, one of the members, I'm sure you'll definitely know who he is. John Cleese, who happened to voice a certain King character in a certain Shrek sequel.
I watched that today.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So for a basic summary of the film, Dan, it is set in biblical times and follows the tale of an average everyday man by the name of Brian, who still lives with his demanding mother. One thing leads to another, and he ends up being mistaken for the next messianic figure. Brian gains a large unwanted following as everyone believes him to be basically Jesus Christ, which leads to one comical encounter to the next, and so on and so forth. I think the fairest way to speak about the Pythons and what they bring to the film individually should be bullet pointed below. So that's how I'm going to proceed with this, Dan.
All right.
So starting with the big one, John Cleese. Cleese originally wanted to play Brian, but the other Pythons voted against it because Cleese does frustration and anger so well that they simply could not see him as Brian. But they could see him as the high priest and centurion guard, who has the best line in the film. There's a bit where he's like a Roman guard. He's in all the gear and the skirt and the sandals and everything. And when he arrests Brian halfway through the film, he grabs him by the cuff of the shirt and he goes, "You're fucking nicked, me old beauty." So like he's Roman, but he talks like a Cockney copper, and I just think that's hilarious.
And John Cleese in delivery.
Yeah, he's great.
Going to be a nice high standard.
He always gives it 110%.
He's really good.
So, and then we've also got Terry Jones. Jones got directorial credit for this film, and he deserves all the praise in the world, not just for the result of the film, but also for his top-notch portrayal of Brian's mother. The voice is iconic, and the scene where she and Brian buy rocks to stone someone reminds you of going shopping with your mum when you were a kid. Legit. Like, there's a scene where,
it came up.
Did it? Yeah. They're just buying rocks to throw at people, but they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll have one big one, one little one, and a packet of gravel." It's just like little bits of dialogue like that. I just think they're genius. And then we've also got Michael Palin. Don't know if you've heard of Michael Palin before.
No.
He tends to do a lot of documentary shows these days where he goes on tours around the world. Palin's portrayal of Roman governor Pontius Pilate is also an iconic performance because this character has a lisp. But and the guards are trying their best not to laugh at him throughout the whole movie, because if they laugh, they will get killed. And he just so happens to have a friend in Rome called Bickerstickus. And as you can imagine, the guards try their best not to laugh during the scene, but it's so good because it just brings memories to mind of that moment in time when you really wanted to laugh but you weren't allowed to. We've all had those in school, at work, something like that, where you really wanted to laugh.
Every exam I've ever taken.
Yes, yeah. Got good times, right? Then we move on to Eric Idle. Don't suppose you know who Eric Idle is?
Not by name.
He voiced Merlin in Shrek 3.
I do.
Yeah. I just want to laugh when I look at or hear the voice of Eric Idle. My favourite role of his in the film clearly goes to the "I'm only pulling your leg" fellow who is always upright despite his doomed situations in life. Literally, like he's in the queue to go and be crucified, and there's a person checking people in, going, "Crucifixion? Yes, straight on." And then when it gets to him, he goes, "Freedom, mate." "Oh, what? Really? Freedom?" Yeah, I'm allowed to go free. And he goes, "Oh, right, well, off you go." Then he goes, "Nah, I'm only pulling your leg. Crucifixion, really." So he could have got out of it, but he just sticks with it. But I do also love another one of his characters who sees the film out singing "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life."
Great.
As they're being crucified. It's an uplifting song in a very bleak and depressing moment. Terry Gilliam. Gilliam may be a gifted animator whose vision brings a lot to the visual style of the film, but he also happens to have a really animated face, which causes him to always play ugly or troll-like fellows, like Gaylor, who is deaf and dumb. Or is he really? Because, as you see later on in the film, he's not as deaf and dumb as he makes out. He's just a normal bloke, but he just puts it on for no reason at all. Like there's a bit where someone asks, bit like Andy in Little Britain.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. I just give you one name.
Very much like Andy in Little Britain. And then that leads us lastly to Graham Chapman. I saved Chapman for last due to him being the most important cast member in the film, as he plays the role of Brian with such sincerity and innocence that really sticks out among the rest. Hello, Brian. It's like he is us, and we are going on this mad, unwanted adventure with him. Literally, like the people that he finds annoying, you find annoying when you're watching the film. It's brilliant. I know the Pythons play a mixture of characters each in the film, but the ones mentioned above stick out to me the most. So to close, Dan, Life of Brian is a comedy classic that followed a template that you don't see in the genre anymore. The template of, it might offend some people, but we're still doing it because it's hilarious.
They make the best comedies.
Yes.
They really do.
It seemed to be their mantra.
If they offend you, turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. It seemed to be their mantra, and the film scored a massive backlash from the Catholic community upon
You're the
initial
one with the
release.
lisp now.
Yeah. Backlash. Big thicketh. But yeah.
Can you do the rest of the review like that now, please? Is that all right?
Yeah. Sure. Having themed the Holy Grail, you know.
Right, one crucifixion, I laughed.
Yeah, one crucifixion.
One crucifixion, please.
A massive backlash from the Catholic community upon release. Like literally, some of the Pythons had to go on a chat show with religious figures and debate with them why the film was allowed to be released.
Wow.
It was that and you think we have it bad now, like with stuff like Little Britain and Come Fly With Me. I mean, back then they were doing it in the late 70s, still fighting for what is funny, pushing the boundaries.
We do have it bad. You just say boy and girl and leave it there. Jeez.
Whoa, yeah. So having seen The Holy Grail and Life of Brian, I must get around to watching The Meaning of Life to complete the Monty Python film trilogy.
I'm told it's really good.
It is really good, but...
You gotta see it, though.
No, I thought you meant Life of Brian, to be fair. Because Life of Brian is good.
Apparently they're all good.
They're all great, but I do need to see the last one still to confirm that.
Of course.
Last bit of trivia to end on. Thank you, George Harrison from the Beatles, for funding this film purely because it was a film he wanted to see.
I love that.
Literally, George Harrison from the Beatles. He was a mate of the Pythons. They couldn't get the film greenlit because they knew it was going to be offensive, and they told George Harrison about it. And he was like, "Well, I'm a Beatles member. I've got £4 million just hanging around, like just to give you." He gave them £4 million, sent them off to where was it? One of the desert countries out there to film, and he just said, "Just make it a good film because I want to see it." It was the most expensive film ticket ever, ever, given in film history.
If I ever did that, I'd go up to Nickelodeon and say, "Right, take this and make it good, or don't do it at all."
Yeah, I know. But, how awesome is that? We wouldn't have got the film if not for George Harrison from the Beatles, because he gave them $4 million. He said, "Go off and make a great film." And he loved it when it was made as well.
But you know what, Tommy? It sounds so offensive. I haven't seen this, and I really want to.
I would highly recommend it.
Very rare do you sell a film to me.
I know.
You've
but
sold
Life
this.
of Brian is incredible. And I may have to show you that bigger sticker scene after this, just to show you a taste of what you're in for when you watch it, because it is a hilarious, hilarious film all round.
Remind me to look it up when we get down there.
Yes, yeah. He was pointing downstairs, by the way, just so everyone knows, That did look.
Make people think I'm cool. I have a basement down there, a cinema room.
We got to have somewhere to store your victims. Anyway,
Oh.
on that note, Dan, I am going to rate Life of Brian 4.5 stars out of 5.
There we go. We like a strong start to the month.
As a comedy, it's near faultless. Really, it's fantastic.
I'm guessing you're going to say that some of the CGI was a bit dated.
There was some CGI.
I saw that. It was a bit dated.
Yeah, with the spaceships and all that.
But
Yeah.
when it's comedy like that, I mean, they're aware.
It's daft.
They're aware.
It's daft, silly comedy, and it pays off. I thought it was great.
If it pays off, that's the main thing.
Definitely, yeah. And I look forward to continuing this month next week with you, Dan.
On an absolute high. Well, Tommy, strong start to the month.
Yeah.
Thank you for
No
that.
worries.
We love a strong start to the month. And of course, don't forget, you can have your say in the comments section below. We don't often offer that.
No, we don't. No, you're right.
Get moaning!
Yeah, honestly. Look at the names below on us. Larkins95, Dan Moore Radio. Follow us on Letterboxd. Harass us. Criticise us. Whatever you want. But we look forward to hearing from you.
I'm not even giving him lines or cues anymore, guys. He's really learning the biz.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Well, that was me. That's what I was going to say. Said. So there you go.
Good. Great. Well, in that case, guys, we'll see you next week.